So today we have Islaam, CEO of RipRight. You're tapped in with PPhilms, man. What's the word?
Yo, you already know, man. Glad to be here. Salute.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You know, I've been following the RipRight movement for a while now, and I'm glad to have you on the platform, man.
Yeah, salute. Glad to be here.
Word, word. So I like my viewers to truly get to know Islam as a person, from early childhood to everything you went through that got you to this point. So we're gonna start from the beginning. You know, like where was you raised?
I was basically raised in Brooklyn, but I was born in Miami, Florida. I left when I was about 3.
Mm-hmm.
So grew up in Brooklyn, Flatbush.
Gotcha.
Then all through there, Canarsie, East Flatbush. That's the
And all
area I
over.
basically, yeah, that's the basic area I grew up in.
Got you, got you. So, like, for a young kid growing up in that era, what was Brooklyn like for you? Like, from family dynamic to when you stepped outside your house?
Well, my family is West Indian,
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican. So, growing up in that environment already, you subjected to so many different, things as far as, the marijuana,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just guns everywhere, weed, the regular, that's just how it is.
Yeah,
I believe getting raised in a Caribbean household, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
at the end of the day, after coming out, it's in the blood. I guess my father died from gun violence,
Oh, wow. Sorry
brother
to
in
hear that.
prison, due to gun violence. So cousins, everybody in my family,
Been through it.
violent cases.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was just something that was normal for me, So coming out, regular manhunt,
yeah.
friends, basketball,
Mm-hmm.
then the street gangs. I ended up becoming, BMW, Brooklyn Most Wanted at the time.
Yeah,
And a little bit after that, the Crips and, the Bloods and all of that came out.
yeah.
So I never got into that. I just stuck with the local street gang. So,
Mm-hmm.
I hit like 16, 15. Around there was like my first case for a stabbing.
Yeah.
Got locked up. Came out, then 16.
Would you say, like, around at that time, the case where you were 16, that was gang related, or it was just an individual
Yeah, it was just an
situation?
individual situation.
Got
It
you.
started off as slap boxing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because that's what we did growing
Wow.
up. You know how that
Yeah,
slap.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Just
so,
playing around, messing
some
around.
people don't
Somebody.
like it. You slap them up, So
Yeah.
that's how he was raised. Everything was hands on, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So from there, armed robbery, then Rikers Island,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the list just went on with me being incarcerated, or if I wasn't incarcerated, I was definitely on probation or
Got you.
some form of parole, some kind of supervision,
Okay.
all the way up until right now. At 36
Got you.
years old, I'm still on parole.
Wow. When does that end?
That ends September of next year finally.
Okay. Okay. That's
I
what's
mean
up.
this year. I'm
This
sorry.
year. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, wait.
And that's
Got
federal
you.
parole, so I'm hoping that goes well, so I could really get out the country. I could while being on parole, but it's just too much. They want to know where you gonna be at.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much is this? So you can't really do too much, especially federal parole. You'll be able to leave. State to state is cool, but I definitely want to do some traveling. So
Exactly. I'm sure there's a lot of people either out of the state, out of the country that want to actually get to see
oh
you.
man,
Yeah.
the UK.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I got a lot of love from the UK, Germany,
That's what's
and
up.
definitely Australia and Canada. So that's like the 4 places I definitely want to get with. As soon as I get off of parole, and Saudi Arabia, I definitely got to make a Hajj.
Got you, right. That's what's up. That's what's
Yeah.
up. I know you mentioned that your father had died due to gun violence. Do you like how old were you, and what can you remember, like the feeling of dealing with that, or what it did to you mentally, or whatever the
Yeah,
case may
so
be?
I'm the type of person, I don't really cry like that
Hmm.
until I see it. Like
Got
if
you.
I hear, oh, this person died, it could be somebody close to me. It'd be a shock,
Hmm.
But once you get to that funeral and then you actually see the body, and
Yeah.
it kind of that's when it really affected me that my father was gone.
Okay.
You know, and he was a regular, what they call him, gunman in Jamaica.
Got
So
you.
he came here about 3 different times and got dipped.
Oh, wow.
Attempt murder as well, all type of
Okay.
different
Okay.
cases. So he actually became a born again Christian.
Wow.
Left the streets, buried the guns, and you know how that go. it
Wow.
passed, you know.
So, you can't. So he had already changed. He made that transition
Yeah, he
already,
made
and
that
then
transition,
got
and
you.
then, but at that time, me not really understanding or knowing my father's history, I didn't know a
Yeah.
lot of this
How old were
stuff.
you?
I was about 16.
Okay, okay,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? So I didn't know about my father's history. I didn't know about my cousins. I didn't know about my brothers. I didn't know that they was gun toting, you know, criminals
Yeah,
basically in
yeah.
reality, you know. Whether they was called freedom fighters, because you have some people that says my father was a freedom fighter, you know.
Hmm.
And I don't believe that,
Explain to the people that don't know, like, what's a freedom fighter?
like, he fought in like justice, like
Yeah.
everything that he did was for the good.
Hmm.
But you know, on the outside, some people might not look at it like that.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I met a guy in the park. He was Jamaican, and I started talking to him, and I was like, "Yeah, my father so and so." He was like, "Oh yeah, I remember he killed a dude on Flatbush in the '90s, and he named the dude." And then, you know, I was just like, "Wow," you
Wow.
know, thinking about the dude, why my pops killed him, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
What about his sons? You know what I'm saying? It was
yeah.
just like that. But me innocently just talking about my father like that, what if that dude, you know what I'm saying?
Came back, would want revenge or something like
Yeah, or
that.
the dude I was talking to, my father had done something to. So
Yeah,
it was like shocking. I was like, oh, I can't even mention my father like that no more, you know? When I
got
meet
you.
somebody, you know,
You
but
never know what it is.
exactly. Yeah, so
Bet,
it's not
bet,
the
bet.
first time it happened either.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now I know, like, I was even you mentioned basketball before. I was like, I seen you having clips at the park playing ball and all that, and even seeing your transition from playing sports and where you are now. I'm like, damn, like a lot of things you say you went through. It seems so far fetched to me,
Yeah.
but so I want to know, like, before that, like your younger years, what made you feel, I guess, comfortable to get involved in the streets? What made you feel like, yo, you know what? It's second nature, because it seems that way,
Yeah.
like where it was all
Yeah,
around
they,
you.
they say, you know, they say it's not, you know, it's not hereditary, but I don't know. It's,
Yeah.
you know, because I've met a counselor and she told me her son never met his father. But when her son would eat, if he had three different portions on the plate, if he had potatoes and he had his chicken over here and then he had his, you know, collard greens over here, every time he would get to eat something, he would spin his plate. And she said his father used to do the same exact thing.
Wow.
And he never met his father.
Yeah.
So, you know, certain things I would do and people was like, oh, you did that like your father. You know, and
Yeah.
so in my belief, I don't care what they talking about scientifically, I think a lot of it
I
is
agree. Yeah.
definitely passed down somehow, you know, and then watching Mark for Death, all these gun movies, gun violence, you
Hmm.
seeing that growing up, you know, whether it's Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
So they teaching you, listen, it's okay, you know, but they not teaching you that you can actually do this legally. You can go to the army. You could be a gunsmith.
Yeah.
You know, my
Yeah.
mother, my father wasn't really around like that. You know, he would every time you know, he could, you know, but being dipped and being in another country, so it was difficult. So I had nobody to say, yo, you like guns? Well,
Yeah.
check this out. When you turn this, we're gonna bring you to a gun range at 12. We're gonna have you fixing guns. You could become a gunsmith. You can own a gun store. You know, so I got this fascination with weapons, and nobody there to hone it.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of us in our community, we have the premature passion for certain things,
Oh
and we
yeah,
use it negatively.
without a doubt.
Exactly. We don't have nobody to kind of help mature that thought in our brains.
And it's crazy you said that. So I met Murda Mook last night, right? And he
Hmm.
said, you know, if you tell somebody, yo, what would you do if you had invisible powers amongst the black people?
Yeah.
You know, if you just got these invisible powers, what's the first thing you do? And he said, most would say, yo, I'm gonna rob a bank.
That came in my mind right
You understand what I'm
now.
saying? Visible. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm robbing a bank. We about to get
Yeah. We're gonna
lit.
come up somehow.
People be coming up. And he said,
Yeah.
that's the first thing. If you had invisible powers, you're gonna rob a bank. But so that's how it is with us,
Hmm.
because we getting force fed that stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know, like it's cool to be in prison, like it's cool, you know, but a lot of stories, they don't really know what's going on in those prisons, you know?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.